It's just all about love and life and living in freedom. That's what it's all about for me now.
Welcome to the Rich Spinster podcast. This is Alexis, and we have a lot to talk about this week. So much has happened. So it is cold in the Northeast, and I mean, it is freezing. And not only is it cold in the Northeast, it is cold across the country with all of the winter storms that have occurred. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, listen, the universe is going to make sure that America says fuck ice one way or another. You hear me? I have a theory, and this theory could be wrong. I pray it's not. I feel as though this completely disastrous administration may make America great for the first time ever. Why? People are becoming awakened. They are seeing things that they have never seen before. They're finally listening. They finally are starting to understand what Black people specifically have been saying forever. They are finally starting to get it. But we see that white supremacy is always at work because we've heard a lot about the two people in Minneapolis who were killed by ICE. Their names are everywhere. But we haven't heard enough about Keith Porter Jr., who was also killed by ICE, a Black man. And so we see how these systems work even in resistance. We see how the values of white supremacy always play out, even when people don't understand that they're playing out. So Keith Porter Jr., let his name remain on your lips as well. And all others who have been killed by ICE. Let me talk about the Epstein files. Whoever it is that pressed send on the Epstein files this week, you are an American hero. Whoever hit send on those files deserves a Medal of Freedom. Okay, because we are learning more and more. We knew it was bad. And here's the thing. If we are getting the details of all of this and it is this bad, imagine what they are hiding. What they are hiding is even more disgusting than we can even imagine. What they are hiding, they're willing to do anything and almost everything to protect themselves from. We're learning a lot about the geriatric patient in that White House. We're learning more and more, but most of this was public anyway. He had accusations from a 13-year-old prior to running for office, and it was conveniently overlooked by the Christian right. If they can overlook molestation that happens in their churches, in their homes, you know damn well they can overlook it in the Oval Office. They don't care because they don't value women. If it were not, they would move heaven and hell right now to undo what they have done. But you see, when people said they voted their values, that is truly what they did. And my God, Bill Gates, if what I am reading is true, Bill Gates got a disease from some Russian girls and then tried to give his wife secretly antibiotics to cover the fact that he got a disease from some Russian girls. That $76 billion or however much she got in that divorce settlement was not enough. These men are out here sick. These Epstein files are fucking shameful. These Epstein files, listen, these motherfuckers are disgusting, you guys. I want them all to go to jail, and I want them to go to jail in general population. Because, see, we know what happens to child abusers in prison. Let's start there. Wow. You are amoral motherfuckers on the right if you support this. This isn't a policy division in this country. This is a moral one. I also want to talk about the arrest of Don Lemon and the other Black journalists. Wait, and the church that Don Lemon was documenting the protest at, the 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 pastor's an ICE agent? Let me tell you something. If Jesus came back, these motherfuckers would deport him. Jesus' ass would be deported. They wouldn't even talk to him. They would ask him for his ID and they would read Jesus and his ass would be deported. He could say, I'm an American citizen. We don't give a fuck. But I'm Jesus Christ. We don't give a fuck. Your ass is going to a detention center with other brown and black people. Notice that everybody arrested was black. Notice that they were journalists that should have been protected. Even though a judge said, no, you can't arrest them. No, what did he do? What did the big baby in the White House do? Well, he wanted to skirt the law, as he always does, to punish people who don't fall in line. And nothing gets a racist off like punishing a black person. My goodness. He wanted to put them in their place. But what he does not understand, and what so many of these racists do not understand, is we understand you. You don't understand us. Our survival has been dependent upon understanding white people. Just as the survival of women depends on understanding men, you have to know your opposition better than they know themselves. And our survival was dependent upon understanding white people. So if he thinks arresting black journalists scares black people, will scare people into silence, will get people to just look away, he clearly doesn't know history. We're unafraid. We know you. There is no tactic that you're using now that you haven't used on black folks since the beginning of time. The difference is now those tactics of Jim Crow are being also used upon white people. And honey, let me tell you, they are shook. White people in America are shook, as they should be. Everyone should be shook who hasn't experienced this before. Everybody should be shook if they haven't paid attention to everything that black folks have been telling them for years. Everyone should be shook. And I want to be careful here to not give white liberals a pass here. It has been my experience that white liberals, in my life, I've experienced the most racism from. I've worked places where it was all white liberal women for the most part. And those women made my work life hell. Why? Because they feel so good about themselves and their liberal belief systems. And they love talking about white supremacy without actually doing any internal work to handle their own white supremacy. And what happens when those women are up against a wall? They lean into that white supremacy every time. How many times at work have you experienced a white liberal woman leaning into her whiteness? Using it against you, lying even. I was managed one time by a white liberal woman who did not like the way I responded to something. And based on that response, she changed my whole yearly review. The half-year review was excellent. 2 weeks prior to the yearly review, suddenly my work became subpar because she didn't like the way I responded to something. When I pushed back on that, her white liberal manager called a meeting for all of us to talk, and she kind of was trying to give some excuse for why she did it. It was retribution for me not staying in my place. Nobody can ever get me to stay in my place because I know my place. And what happened in that situation is so interesting. The review was changed. That white liberal woman still got to manage me. And she was then subsequently promoted several times at that organization. And I don't know this for a fact, but someone told me that she was on the board of some organization that supports Black and brown folks. And I'm not even demonizing her as a person. I don't think that she is a horrible person. I think white supremacy is horrible. I think it's a horrible disease. And I think it's a disease that people like to point out in others, and they do nothing about the way that it ravages them. So let's not forget, as we watch these protests, as we see these courageous people in the streets fighting, pushing back, resisting, let's not forget that those people have a lot of work to do internally. The battle and the revolution is not external, it's an internal one. And if we don't have an internal revolution, then we will do nothing but be in this place again. I want to talk about Onika Tanya Mirage Petty, also known as Nicki Minaj. I want you all to look at the videos of Nicki Minaj. Just take a look at videos of Nicki Minaj online. Look how she has acted when she has been interviewed by hip hop radio, Black radio stations, Black DJs and interviewers, versus when she is being interviewed by someone on the right, when she's on a stage with Erica Kirk, when she is on a stage with Donald Trump. Look how different she is. Nicki Minaj is what you would simply call a sellout. Nicki Minaj is the slave that told Massa what the other slaves were planning to do. Nicki Minaj is a self-hating negress. Remember, she's married to a sex offender. Her brother is in prison for essaying a child. Now, I will say none of that is Nicki Minaj's fault. You are not responsible for the actions of your brother. Absolutely not. But you are responsible for what you enable and support. It's not odd that she would be supporting a pedophile. It's actually right on brand for her. This is why celebrity is bullshit. This is why we should not be elevating celebrity above intellectualism. This is why you have to look at them as regular people, because Nicki Minaj has shown you all that she is regular as fuck. Below average, really. When these white people spit you out, when they're done using you, it's going to be a long walk of shame back to the Black community. And I hope we don't do what we always do: forgive and forget. I mean, but think about it. Nicki Minaj has every trait of a Barbie doll, okay? She's plastic, she's empty, she's soulless, she's brainless. Her proportions are ridiculous. Everything about her is manufactured, including her fucking morality. I think she has looked at this situation and said, you know what? How much money can I get from these white people? Let me tell you, it's paying well. Anytime you see a Black person specifically siding with racists and they're doing that shit publicly, it pays very well. You will never be broke if you are a Black person willing to sell out your people for $1. Yes, you are wealthy. Congrats. But a lot of good that money's gonna do you in hell, bitch. Oh, they're going to parade you around. They're going to invite you front row of their little conventions. They're going to put you on stage. They're going to have you batting your eyelashes, wearing blonde fucking wigs and chalky pink lipstick. They're going to have you there smiling, cooning, shucking and jiving. And you are stepping up and you are playing the role beautifully. You're his biggest fan, bitch. The hate makes you love him more? Are you 12? That's why Barbie's your goddamn hero. You're a fucking child. And that's why he likes you. Let's see how many Republicans start buying your music, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is what happens when you live within your lower self. As a Black woman, I can say Nicki Minaj is not unfamiliar to me. I've experienced Black women willing to sell out other Black women for a paycheck many times in my life. And those Black women usually do very well financially. I've seen this before. I've worked with this before. I know this. The Black people that only puff out their chests when they're getting white compliments, the Black people that shower love upon white people, but are quick to have a sharp tongue with other Black people. It's been my experience that when working with a group of Black women, there's a group of Black women that will stick together, that will support each other, that will love each other, but there's always one or two at the job who want to be the Black person. The Black person that all the white people lean into, the Black person that all the white people can relate to. They're going to giggle with the white people. They're going to go to the same concerts. They are going to do everything that they have to do. They're going to play the game. They're going to do it well. They're going to get promoted. Hell, they're going to make a lot of money because there's always money in it for the Uncle Tom. But eventually, they will have their day too. I think this should be a lesson for a lot of people. Stop elevating celebrities and rappers and other musicians as if they are more than they are. Nicki Minaj has an opinion, just like everybody has an opinion. But an opinion is the lowest form of intellect. Man, fuck Nicki Minaj. That whole Barbie shit to me was lame anyway. A grown woman talking about she's a Barbie. Listen, Nicki Minaj is almost 45 years old, okay? A grown woman talking about she's a Barbie, making facial expressions like she's a fucking doll. If she worked with you at the cubicle next to yours, you would think the bitch was crazy. No one would be listening to her. You'd probably be in HR all the time saying, like, why is she talking like that? Why is she walking around like that? Who is this character coming in here every goddamn day when I'm just trying to talk to this customer on the phone? One need only to go back and listen to interviews that Lil' Kim has had in the past about Nicki Minaj. Say what you want about Lil' Kim, but she's a fucking prophet. Okay? Lil' Kim always said Nicki Minaj wasn't shit. Nicki Minaj turned out not to be shit. She ain't shit. She never gonna be shit. And Lil' Kim clocked it. Shout out to Queen B. And then I heard that she's doing a song about Charlie Kirk. Let's be clear. I don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk. But I never even heard of Charlie Kirk until the day he died. And when Charlie Kirk died, I was like, damn, that's fucked up. And then I went on with my goddamn day. And Nicki Minaj is going to do a song about him? About Charlie Kirk? Woo! Listen, I understand the need for a paycheck. But there is nothing more costly than selling your soul. Some things just can't be up for sale. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that could ever make me sell out Black people. Some people would do anything for a damn dollar. You know, and since we're talking about celebrities, for you all to not be reading the fucking room right now is crazy. If you have a platform and you're not speaking up, we see that the only thing that you care about is money. I don't want to see anything advertised to me by any fucking celebrity. I don't give a fuck about your cologne. I don't care about your bras. I don't care about your sleepwear. I don't care about your lipstick. I don't care about any of that shit. The only thing I care about is justice. We got Jim Crow 2.0 happening, and y'all trying to sell me some lipstick. What? And you know what? All of this is just so incredibly stupid. And I don't know when society started backtracking like this. I don't know. I mean, I know for Black people, America has always been a fight, but the level of stupidity is concerning. It is really concerning. I do think that after this, there will be an extreme rise in intellectualism because we see what anti-intellectualism has done. We see what giving everyone a participation trophy has done. It has created people who are loud about things that they know nothing about. They haven't read anything about it. They haven't listened. They haven't sat in anyone's classroom. He knows the more he entertains you with your lower self, the more distracted you will be. And once you have given away your morality, you have given away everything else. But the one thing that gives me hope is that so many people have now said enough is enough. They're getting there. Enough is enough. What is happening? Enough is enough. And you can see maybe you didn't like some of the past administrations, and maybe that's justified, but you weren't experiencing this. Moment by moment, they're waking up. And those of you who are waking up and who are looking inside of themselves and who are regretting possibly their votes, good for you. And I am sorry to tell you, I really am, that if you know someone, if you love someone who voted for this and they're still in support of this, that's a bad person. Now, I know that hits home for a lot of people because you're like, hey, my mom voted for this. I'm not saying she's not a good mom. She could be a great mom, but she's a bad fucking person. Because there is no good person that can be okay with what's going on right now. So I know that takes a lot. How do you reconcile someone being good to you, that person is also supporting people who essay children? How do you reconcile that with love? I don't know. I don't have these problems. I'm just asking. I do not know. Listen, this is really important. There's so many white people right now in this country who are looking at this horrified and they're saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know how to resist this. I have the answer for you. White people, look at the people of Minnesota. Okay, go. That's it. Go. That's what you do. You do what they are doing. And you do it over and over and over again. And you don't get tired. You stay loud. You get louder. This idea of kindness and niceness and I don't want to rock the boat. No, you rock the motherfucking boat. Oh, big news also. The First Lady of the United States, who I keep telling you guys I forget exists, had a big movie to come out called, what was it called? Was it called Melania? I don't even know what it was called, but it doesn't matter because nobody went to see the shit. The 5 people in America that went to see Melania, I saw interviews from them and they were like, wow, it was really something. What? This is what gets me is like these motherfuckers, they really can't read a room. They really can't read a room. What in the world told them that even conservative America gave a damn about Melania? Enough to make a movie. And then I heard the director of the movie is in the Epstein files. And there's a picture of the director of the film on a couch with Epstein and some women. Y'all dirty all the way to the draws, okay? Just my God. What? This is unacceptable. And continue to use this as a way to dig deeper into yourselves. I know it's so easy for all of us, myself included, to point the finger. But we all have something to learn from this. We all have a way to expand from this. One thing about this, I've never been a person to really hold my tongue. But there have been a lot of things in life that I have held my tongue about. There have been times that I felt like there needed to be something said, and in those times, there have been moments where I didn't say them. And this tells me that none of that is worth it. You must always speak. Audre Lorde talks about that. Speak. Even if you are afraid, you have to speak because that silence will choke you. You will choke on your silences one way or another. Either you will be suppressing everything that you need to say, or you will choke on that silence with a knee on your neck. Speak up. And that is how we bear witness. Thank you for listening to the Rich Spinster podcast. You can listen to the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. I have left TikTok and I am still at Rich Spencer on Instagram, at Rich Spencer on YouTube. Please subscribe and like the videos there, like the clips that you see, and share the videos of the Rich Spencer podcast with those in your social media networks. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and I will talk to you soon.